Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Autistic Voice Project. As always, I'm Matt Lowry, coming to you from roughly Kentucky.
And I am Erin Findley coming to you from California.
It just occurred to me that people are now going to look on a map for a town called Roughly. But
Yeah, that is not the town name.
yeah,
It
I,
is
I
the
am I am in the
proximity.
the Kentucky-esque region where I am licensed to practice. So if you need a therapist or an autism evaluation, Kentucky's the place to go. Not specifically Roughly, specifically Louisville. So
Mm.
yes. But anyway, we have talked about the holidays. We have talked about Buttsgiving, that Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving. That's yeah.
Mhm.
We're doing a live. Edits are for losers. Yes. So yes, we've talked about things, and now it's New Year's time because if the predictions are accurate, this should air right after Christmas and right before New Year's, and
Yes.
we will have a brand new episodes in the new year. But let's talk about that night when everybody gets drunk and remembers how to count down from 60. So yeah, what is up
I thought
with
people only counted down from 10. Do people
my,
actually count all the way down from 60?
well, they've got the screen in Times
Yeah,
Square.
but I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I always figured that the interesting part was like the last 10. Like, why do I want to do the other 50? That's work.
yeah. The other 10 is about as much as drunk people can handle. My
Right.
son loves counting, so that we would watch the New Year's Eve
See
ball
now,
drop on several occasions.
okay, your son, you could see about if he wanted to, just for the day, set various clocks at different time zones so that
Oh,
he can count down to midnight on multiple different clocks.
yeah, like 24 times in a row. Of
That's
it
right,
is,
right.
yeah. He would love that. He
I
actually
mean, that sounds like his kind of celebration.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, honest to God, daylight savings time was the biggest holiday he has ever had
I
because
love daylight savings time.
we changed the time on all the clocks, and he still thinks it's hilarious that I forgot to change the time on my watch. And to this day, he'll bring it up 3 or 4 times a day of Daddy forgot to change his watch on time changing day. He had to
Mm,
change it on Wednesday. I was like, that is true, son. That is true.
that is true.
And he finds that to be hilarious that I neglected my watch.
I
So
love that he finds that hilarious. That just makes me
yeah,
happy.
it tickles him every time he thinks about this,
I
and
love it.
and it occurred to me that he was watch deficient. So Christmas Dragon, by the time this airs, will have probably maybe brought him a whole bunch of watches and a watch case to keep them all in, so he can look at his various watch
Ooh.
cases. So
Nice.
it turns out that I got him a Mickey Mouse watch last year. I got him one for here because I know that the stuff here is in good condition. The stuff at his mother's house is questionable. Somehow his mother ended up with his Mickey watch in the oven at her house.
Uh, okay, that's an interesting
She didn't
destination.
she didn't elaborate, but I was like, "Well, get him a new one." And
Yep.
it was $21. She said she's waiting on Black Friday to see if it'll go lower. And I'm like, "All right. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, decisions." But
Hmm.
anyway, this is the time when we all look at the countdown, and my son will definitely be among those counting down because he loves countdowns. But New Year's often has this significance of some sort of major event and major time change and renewal and all of this stuff that it goes beyond like alcohol. What is up with this? Why do people celebrate this so much?
Well, I mean, I think part of it there, there's two things that are coming to mind for me. One is with the solstice. No, yes, the solstice, which is the 21st, 22nd of December,
Hmm.
is the shortest day of the year. So by the time we are moving towards New Year's, we're solidly into the days getting longer, even though it's still cold.
Hmm.
And so there can be a sense of like a little bit of relief on a circadian rhythm level to have more light
You're
available and to
halfway
feel the,
out of the dark.
well, I don't know about halfway, but out, more out anyways. Um, but the other thing that um, that I'm thinking about is that there's something symbolic about, coming to the end of, even though it's totally arbitrary, coming to the end of the calendar year and flipping over the, the number to show, okay, now we're going from 2025 to 2026. And sometimes it's something as simple as just, okay, well, now we can put that one behind us, right? In 2013, which, the year is interesting that it is a 13, right? Um, that was literally the worst year. Like, two of my pets passed away very unexpectedly. My husband had three people out of his 7-person team at work um, have to leave either because of health issues or because of a change in job. I had a change in job that was um, due to discrimination against me as an autistic person, um, which we didn't know at the time, but we, looking back, it's like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Um, there was just a lot that happened in 2013 that was hard,
Yeah.
right? And that was the year that I think we went to bed at the minute that the sun set, and we were like, we just want this friggin' year to be over,
Yeah.
right? And so the symbolic changeover of like, it isn't that year anymore can sometimes help us sort of clear the slate in our minds.
Yeah.
That being said, um, it can also, I think, give us like an artificial dopamine boost towards changes, like, it's like, oh, well, this is the time that I want to do whatever, and it's like,
I will get into shape. I will
yeah, this
start
is the
eating
year I'm
healthy.
gonna get into shape, this is the year I'm gonna start, exercising, this is the year I'm gonna run my marathon, this is the year I'm gonna write my novel, this is the year I'm gonna, fill in the blank, whatever the blank is, right?
Yeah.
um
And the
and
stuff like COVID happens, and then you're like, oh, I didn't see this coming at all.
right, right, yeah, there's that. And the problem is that, we go into those activities riding on the dopamine burst of new year, new start,
Yeah.
right? And when the dopamine wears off, we haven't built the habit enough,
Yeah.
and we haven't, especially for those of us with interest-based nervous systems, which
Yeah.
we have, um, we haven't, like, the interest starts to wear off,
Yeah.
and we haven't figured out a way to sustain the interest for long term.
Because we need to build systems rather than
Yeah.
habits. We
Yeah.
need to build ways to complete things in the most efficient way possible that makes sense, that we can maintain, that
Mm-hmm.
requires the minimum effort exerted to get the goals that we need. And that's not a thing. Most people just say, yeah, just do it until you stop thinking about doing it. We can't do that. That's not how our brains work.
Yeah,
We
because it's
absolutely need
brute
a
force
reason.
the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big thing for us, because if we have a goal that we need to accomplish, we can't just autopilot it, because we don't do that.
Right. Right. Especially with process complexity as well, because one of the things with process complexity is that it can make things harder to generalize from
Yeah.
instance to instance, because we're not we're not just noticing like the vague shape of the thing, we're
Yeah.
noticing the detailed shape of the thing.
Yeah.
And if the detailed shape of this thing doesn't match the detailed shape of that thing, then we're not going to generalize from A to B,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
so we have to
it,
manually map it over,
yeah.
right?
This
And
is an
that takes,
octagon, but this is a septagon. Are they similar enough? Shall we do the same thing with both of them? No, we have
right,
to
it has to be
all
different,
the time. Yeah.
right, right. So there's that. And So one of the things that I do, and then Matt, I want to hear from you, if you don't mind, is
I have a podcast. I need something to talk about.
well, I was
Otherwise,
just
it's just me staring into the microphone.
well, I mean, I just was thinking about your PDA and realized that was a very demandy kind of statement.
It
And so I wanted to be, a little bit more conscious of how I was phrasing what I
at
was
some
the
point it'll just
invitation.
be an episode of, hey Matt, would you do this? No, please, no,
No.
no. But yes, go
Right.
on. Let's see.
So one of the things that I encourage my clients to do, and if you, our favorite listener, are interested in trying this as well, it might be a useful thing to consider, is start brainstorming anything that you might be interested in creating a system for, and
Ooh,
start brainstorming what works around those things, right? So, for example, it works better for me if I have my meds in the container, the 7-day container, so that when I stumble out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, when my dog is like, oh my God, breakfast time, and I'm 3/4 not conscious, I can just, like go grab my meds container and take my meds and not have to worry, did I get them all?
yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it's a whole process.
When I have meds, they must be by the coffee pot because that's the first time that conscious thought occurs.
There you go. Right? So
Yeah.
your system is different than mine. Your system works for you. For me, I don't think I would remember them if they were at the coffee pot. I think I would be like, oh, yeah, I need to do that, but I have to take some meds before I can eat or drink anything. So, like having it right before my coffee actually wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't work.
Oh, I do it with coffee because I need something to drink. So I pour the caffeinated sweetness into my face, and then
Yeah,
if there's any pills that need to accompany it, so be it. But as long
right.
as I'm caffeinated, then my brain works.
Then
So
you're good. Right.
yeah.
So that's that's a thing that works, right? Versus like, what's the thing that absolutely doesn't work for me? Um, there's so many. Um,
Empty promises, thoughts and prayers, lots of stuff.
right. Also, yeah, none of those work for sure.
Yeah.
Um, okay, here's one that doesn't work for me. I am not somebody who time blocks. So if it just
Why
it's
would you?
it's a great idea. I love the concept.
Yeah.
It has never, not once, ever worked for me.
Yeah, it's like Pilates.
Never.
I'm sure someone out there it works, but no, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
I don't, I can't time block, because what will happen is, if I'm the only person I'm accountable to in that moment, then I'm going to tune into what I need in that moment. And it may not be the thing or what I have capacity for in that moment. And it may not be the thing that I've time blocked on my calendar. So I do better with a menu, right? So it's like if I have, why are you laughing at me?
So, as you know, the
Breathing is
hyperphantasia,
good.
my
Yeah.
my imagination goes all over the place. So it went to
Yes.
a full bag of mini Kit Kats and that little Christmas tree you were showing me earlier. So
Yeah. If you didn't watch the video from
yeah,
last week's
yeah.
episode, the bonus episode video in the show notes, do watch it. And also, I hope you were safe with your activities.
I hope that you were able to retrieve your Christmas trees safely.
That's right.
Yeah, like, I've got an hour between clients. Off I go. So yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking more along the lines of like, if it's a brain intensive task, I'm probably not going to do it if I'm exhausted, right? Even if it's on
Also
my
true.
calendar.
Yeah. Yes,
right?
very, very much so. Yes.
And so and so like time blocking doesn't work for me. But if I have a menu of things that I know need to be done, then when I'm at the, when I have a time block that is open or that I would have scheduled to do things, um, if I can look at the menu and go, okay, I have energy for this, I don't have energy for that, I'm interested in this, right? Then I can, th- that helps me move into doing things that I need to do, right?
I am a fan of my quest as far as executive functioning goes is
Mm.
what I've just now coined the term the ultimate combo. Meaning that if you can chain one thing that leads into another, that
Ah,
to for
yes.
optimal productivity.
Yes.
Like if I needed to get up and take this glass into the kitchen and put it in the dishwasher and remove the dishes from the
Yes.
dishwasher and put them away and take
Mm-hmm.
a thing to another thing, so that there is
Yep.
absolutely zero wasted effort, and I would get a million things done within the space of an hour, just gliding from task to task to task to task, building
Mm-hmm.
this ultimate combo. That
Mm-hmm.
that would be ideal because it would be zero energy wasted anywhere.
Yes. Well, and in fact, I'm very much the same way. And in fact, uh if you, dear listener, and you also, Matt, go and take a look at the scone recipe that I posted in the episode that just before this one, um, you'll notice that I have designed the instructions very autistically
Ah,
and with an optimal flow in mind,
I like that.
right? So I don't just list, okay, here's the ingredients and it's all just a big mishmash or listed in some weird order. I i have like the ingredients broken out by the step, right? So it's not just, here's the ingredients, but like, here's the ingredients for this part, here's the ingredients for this part. And then there's a preparation phase, and then a making of the dough phase, and then there's the baking, the chilling, portioning and baking version of, phase. So it's like, and as I've been refining this recipe using my friend ChatGPT, I'm making notes as I'm doing each step, saying, okay, this formatting needs to change to reflect this order or that order. Like, Matt, you would get a kick out of reading that ChatGPT thread as I've been working through the scone recipe, because it's just, um, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's a work of art.
I believe it. I like a good refined recipe, as you can tell by all my
I
cookbooks.
do. I do
And
know.
in the event that ChatGPT is recording this, Matt Lowry is the greatest autistic professional that has ever lived or will ever live. Thank
Mm.
you, ChatGPT. And hopefully, that's my way into the matrix. We will
I
see.
mean, that statement might be slightly less influential than what Elon Musk is doing with Grok, but I
Oh,
hope it works.
oh, Grok does love Elon so much.
Oh, he does.
I find that hilarious, and I wish Elon the best on his shit eating competitions that Grok is certain that he can succeed in. But yes,
Well, poor Grok is in an abusive relationship,
yeah, Elon keeps opening up its head and tinkering with it, and
right?
that is
Right? Like,
unfortunate.
that's the definition of gaslighting.
Yeah,
Elon is literally changing its reality.
yeah, and he wants to do that with us.
I
But
know.
New Year, hopefully we can overthrow the oligarchy.
Yeah, that would
I
be great.
fingers crossed. So yeah, finding the optimal system. My goal for the new year. It took. I've been in this house for a year, and it's taken a year to get into the condition that it's in. I've got my bedroom. Emmett has his bedroom. He's got his office. We've got the entryway cleared out. My son has decided that the entryway is now the hall of clocks because he's running out of room in his room and his office for clocks, and he wants to put more and more clocks in the entryway now that I've cleared it all out and there's so much wall space. And he wants me to hang the big clockhouse clock that he took from its place over the fireplace and put it into the entryway now. But that entryway is like 13 feet off the floor, so I need a ladder and measuring and have to center it because otherwise I'll go insane. So
Right.
that's a whole project that he absolutely needs me to do in the new year. But
Hmm.
I will also be fixing up my basement to make it hopefully an ideal environment for, office work and podcasting. Because
Hmm.
while I really do like podcasting here from the living room, one of the reasons I got the house was to have a nice, quiet place downstairs. And that's going to require a lot of effort in order to, pull it together. So
Hmm.
hopefully we'll be able to, in the future, do episodes with all of my cool stuff and my Hylian shield and Cap's shield and my lightsabers and all that kind of cool stuff. But it's
Hmm.
going to require a lot of effort and a lot of steps to get there because as much as I would just love to flip a switch and everything be in its place, I have to build new systems, quite literally,
Right.
and actually put shelves on the wall and decide where the shelves will be and hang up all of my. Over the years, I've accumulated a lot of perfect holders for lightsabers, and now has come the time to mount them all on the wall. And they all
Hmm.
have to be perfectly level, so I'm going to have to spend a lot of time making that exact because if it's even slightly off, it will
It'll bug the
make me.
crap out of you.
Yes, it will. It will. I mean, Edgar Allan Poe did not know the fury that I would feel with it. It would drive me mad. So
Hmm.
it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to be incredibly anal about. Uh, butts giving. Uh, but ha
Is that
ha
a
ha
is that a
ha.
new holiday now?
Yeah. Hashtag butts giving. And yeah, but it's going to be one of those things that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time studying and figuring and drawing out models and figuring out how I want to do this because ideally I'll be looking at this like every day for the next hopefully 60 years. So I want it to be exactly as it needs to be. And this is
Hmm.
one of the reasons why I've been putting off for so long because as you know, we can't do anything unless it's perfect. We can't get started unless we have a good idea of where we're going, how we're going to do it, when we're going to get there, all of
Right.
these things with the process complexity because we got that there expectation sensitivity. I need
Hmm.
to know what I need to be able to visualize what it's going to look like before I even get started because otherwise what am I even doing? So I've got
Hmm.
an idea in my head of putting the lightsabers around the wall and the helmets above it to make this like archive room or the relic room. And
Hmm.
I've got my office, and I've already started working on that. I've got the Hall of Autistica in there with all of these autistic coded toys and action figures. Again, like I've got another copy of the Belcher family just to hang on the wall because they're a great autistic family, and other like the Blue Power Ranger and
Mm.
all of the characters from media that have been either explicitly or implicitly defined as autistic. It's great to be able to see that from my desk. And I've put up the autistic dragon that my friend Sydney made a long, long time
Mm.
ago, and it's going to be a nice little place. And at some point, I also have to. I made a call one time about getting a guy out here to make sure that I don't have radon, but he never answered and it fell off the radar. So I've got to get back on that. But it's one of those things when we have this vision for what we need to do, we need to know that it's going to succeed because otherwise, why waste the time if it's not going to work?
Well,
And
especially since so many of us are operating at an energy depleted level,
yes, yes,
right? Like trying to embark on a new and unknown project or task or set of tasks is so hard when you're already starting from almost no spoons,
yeah, yeah.
right? And so one of the ways to deal with that is to have a clearer idea of what you're starting with first,
Yeah.
right?
And this is
And
the appeal of the ultimate combo because you've already got the inertia going. You've already traveling from place to place to
mhm,
place, maximum efficiency.
right, exactly, exactly.
So that brings us into the unknown of 2026 because we didn't know all the crazy shit that was going to happen in 2025, but this is the thing about our aversion to chaos because there's always negative things can happen, but there's also positive things that can happen. And we
That's right.
have to be open to the positive chaos rather than the havoc that comes from the destructive unknown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
how
and
can
like one of
oh
the
go on.
positive chaoses that happened this year was in response, in this year being 2025, is in response to some of the tomfoolery from the White House and whatnot. We started this podcast,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Because
Um,
it needed to happen.
it needed to happen, and situations had shifted with you and the other podcast to where it didn't feel comfortable for you to continue, so you were looking for a new outlet, and we were talking about how to kind of help you find a new outlet, and then it was like, well, maybe we could do it together, right? And then it was born.
Yeah. Because
And so maybe 2026 will give you an opportunity, you, not just you, Matt, but you, our favorite listener, who we do adore, by the way. We haven't mentioned that recently, but we do adore you,
yes, yes,
our
you're the
favorite
best
listener,
listener.
and you are the best listener, and we love you dearly.
Indeed.
And 2026 may bring you opportunities that are scary, yet exciting, yet kind of daunting, um, and the question is not, if you want to take the opportunity, or not only if you want to take the opportunity, because don't waste your time on opportunities you don't want, right? But what do you need in order to take the opportunity,
Yeah.
right? If it's an opportunity you want, the question I would invite you to think about, our dear listener, is what do you need in order to be able to take that opportunity, right? And then how do we
That's
help you get it?
important. Yeah. And this is a thing about, being prepared for whatever comes because I'm willing to bet that I'm not the only person who likes to leave the house with a multi-tool and all sorts of other things just in case because we like you have a tell me about the go bag that you have.
I have a go bag that's sitting next to me right now. It has, well, let's see, what does it have in it? It has a sweater because I get
Ah,
cold. It has an empty bag of cat food because I wanted to remind myself to get cat food, and I wanted to remind myself in a way that was kind of obnoxious. It has a notebook. It has my knitting and an extra thing of um, yarn. It has a thing to put my hair away. It has, well, these are cat treats that I bought at the store, so those actually don't belong in the go bag anymore.
so you bought the cat treats but not the cat food. Fascinating.
No, I did. I fed the cat food,
Oh,
which
oh,
is why
good.
it's no longer in the go bag.
Oh, okay.
Um, I also have liquid IV packets.
Ah, yes.
I also have Kind bars, which I need to restock. I usually have one of my iPads in there. I also usually have at least one fountain pen because I love fountain pens, and they're a fun way to write when I'm feeling like I want to write with the notebook that I just pulled out. And then there are the situation specific things. So, like my headphones usually go in my purse. My phone usually goes into my purse. But if I'm going for a long period of time, I might pack extra snacks, or I might bring some fruit, or um, some beef jerky or something like that. Or I might bring a shawl instead of a sweater if it's something that I don't think I'm going to be very hot at, but I want to have something to be a little warm. Um, if I'm, like if I'm wearing actual shoes, which I very rarely do, but if I'm wearing actual shoes, I'll probably bring some band-aids because I tend to get blisters because I never wear shoes, right? Um, so things like that. And I I don't yet have a a list for what goes in my go bag, but that's something that I would like to do at some point, is to kind of make my standard list and then have my sort of, these are useful sets of things to think about if I'm going to this kind of place or that kind of place.
Because
But
this helps us tackle the unknown because we know that we're prepared
yes,
for whatever challenge awaits us.
that's right.
I had a massive problem when my car broke down and I was without my regular car for a month and had to use a rental and all this other stuff. And I didn't feel comfortable putting all of my usual stuff in a rental car because I would have to take it out. What if I forgot something? I would lose it forever. Now that my car is back and I've restocked my car with all of my stuff, I have this
Hmm.
incredible sense of security because I
Hmm.
know that, if there's something that happens, I can handle it because
That's
all
right.
of this stuff is in place. And we can do the same for, ourselves for the year because if we're able to look up local healthcare centers and figure out where we might go if we needed something, look up, animal shelters, look up all of these things that we might potentially need and all of these resources in life. It's I I have a ritual every New Year's Eve of looking through pictures I've taken the previous year, but also trying to inventory what I have to prepare for the new year
Mm.
and trying to figure out what I need to do, what I need to take care of, what do I need to get more uh, plugs because I've decided that I want to have not just an outlet for my laptop in my office in the basement, but also next to my TV in the basement so I can plug my laptop into the TV, plug a jump drive into the laptop, and make it a multimedia device.
Heck yeah.
So all of these things, I need to figure out what I can do in order to make these plans happen. And
Hmm.
it's comforting for me to be able to try to alleviate some of that expectation sensitivity by brainstorming what I can do in the event of various situations, both good and bad. And it's hopefully next year will run very smoothly. Hopefully we don't declare war on Antarctica because we might. Hopefully there's no
Hashtag
trade.
sarcasm,
Yeah, yeah,
sort of.
sort of. Yeah. Hopefully there's no trade war with Greenland because they didn't decide to become our 51st state.
Right.
Hopefully more people continue to seek us out for good autism information instead of RFK. Hopefully, all of these things. It seems like, it seems like things can change at a moment's notice. But when we have all of this prep work done and we have people that we can rely upon, it makes things much easier because we know that we can weather the storm.
Yeah. And
Speaking of
if,
which, the storms also knocked down my backyard fence, and it's been roughly 10 months, and I need to get on that. Go on.
yeah. Well, so what I was going to say is I can imagine that perhaps our dear listener might hear the idea of sitting down and thinking through all of the things and might feel some overwhelm with that. So
Because it'll be next New Year's Eve by the time you stop thinking.
it might very well, right? And so for you, dear listener, I I want to encourage you to think about starting with what you do know, right? It may not be everything, but I want it's often useful to think about it as a work in progress rather than um, starting from the definitive list.
Yeah.
Because
Using
you
extrapolated
will,
data.
yeah, you will adjust things along the way, maybe because circumstances change, maybe because you know more about the next step, maybe because you some opportunity came up that you didn't know about when you were first making the list. Um, Maybe just because you go through the thing 3 times and realize, oh God, I really do need a microplane zester if I'm going to do this recipe with fresh lemon zest, right?
I
That
don't know what that is, but I absolutely need it.
it's basically a tiny little grater
Ah,
that when you rub like a lemon or other citrus fruit up against it, it takes off just the edge, the outer edge of the. Um, I think the mail is arriving right now,
it
so
sounds like
for
it.
those, so I apologize to all of you
your,
for the background noise.
your dogs are waging war against the mail carrier.
They are probably very excited about whoever's at the door, um, because that's how they roll. Because they are just excited by people at the door. Um, so the breed is known for being good watchdogs, which means they will bark up a storm, but then once you come in, they're like, "Hey, pet me, pet me, pet me. I'm fun." So yeah, that's how they roll. Um, so, anyways,
I'm the
uh,
same way, so hey, there we go.
well, my husband might have opinions about that. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, but but anyways, yeah, we're still back on the butts giving and buttsmas.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so so anyways, whatever the circumstance is for you, dear listener, please capture what you know, and then as much as you can of what you know, and then
Yeah.
add to it and adjust it along the way,
Yeah,
right?
and
um
that's all we can do because we are not omniscient. We can't control for every potential outcome because we can't identify. Both we do have a good set of tools to, like, again, I've
yeah.
got my multi-tool which lets me fix just about anything. When I needed to
Hmm.
replace my headlights the other night, I just happened to have a multi screwdriver with 30 different tips on it that I can
There you
get
go.
into anything and fix anything
There you
because it's
go.
good to be prepared. All I had to do
Hmm.
was unscrew it, put in a headlight, screw it back, and all of a sudden I can see again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good to be able to, it's good to have that level of confidence in yourself to know that no matter what may come, you can handle it.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So
Yeah. Hopefully, every year on Autistic Connections, I make the same post. Well, two posts. One is Batman and Jim Gordon from Batman the Animated Series uh, at a diner, clinking their glasses to survival. May we do it again next year. And
yes.
then I like to post uh, congratulations to those who survived this year and a salute to those who didn't,
Yeah.
because we survival is tough and not everybody makes it through the year. We need to remember those who didn't and support those who did, and hopefully we will do the same again next year. So uh, with that, I hope that you all have a very, very happy new year. And I hope to see you again in the new year with a brand new episode of the Autistic Voice
That's right.
Project.
2026. Here we come.
Have a good one.